Public Service Company of New Mexico, or PNM as we know it here, announced it will seek a rate hike through the Public Regulation Commission. The utility says it's facing costs to maintain and build infrastructure, but consumption has been declining because of a combination of a weak economy, conservation of course, more energy efficient technology and building practices, and the proliferation of rooftop solar panels. PNM is also facing future investments at the San Juan Generating Station and the Four Corners Power Plant. Those costs will be covered in later rate increase cases, but Attorney General Gary King and some energy advocates say PNM's plan to shut 2 of the San Juan units, then replace them with other energy sources, is still too reliant on coal and nuclear. They contend the utility is underestimating the costs that will be passed on to customers, and Mr. King is intervening in that case. And Sophie, it's great we're getting at so good at conservation, but it's a huge dilemma for PNM and other companies like PNM as well. But there's a fundamental tension here. If less people are using it, it costs more for the folks that are still using it, it seems to me. It's crazy.
That have to be covered.
That's right.
I think, though, we are at this really interesting point now. We've been leading up with this push for renewables. Finally, PNM is saying, you know what, actually renewables might work better than we had thought.
Right.
So that's a bit of a breakthrough.
Right.
But something is necessary to push it over to get, and so we're seeing regulations from the EPA. We're seeing changes, I think, in the community's tolerance for coal and less clean sources of energy. And it may be that we are at a point at which we sort of have to open things up and say, like, this is a priority for our community, for our country. How are we going to make it happen? And have a greater dialogue with companies, not just PNM, but power companies across the country.
That's right. That's a good point there, Javier, because, you know, haze is a big issue for Four Corners, and the EPA has weighed in. And as we read it in the Journal piece, you can blame the EPA, but at the same time, something has to be done. And so PNM's in kind of a tough spot here. Where do you see them in trying to fix this problem?
You're absolutely right. The kids in the Four Corners area breathe in worse air than New York City.
Right.
It's a major problem. There are costs to New Mexico for the smog and I mean health impacts. So I think it's going to be a good conversation for PNM to have with the PRC and the public. Because it is an opportunity to really look forward. I mean, this is 19th century technology we're talking about.
Sure,
coal.
sure.
But we've got amazing assets in solar. We're second in the country for potential in solar, 12th in the country for potential in wind. And El Paso Electric is a great example where they're looking to go 100% solar, I think, by 2017. So there are examples, and there's a lot of promise here, but it's going to take, I think, the PRC stepping in to really, kind of force PNM, and it's an appeal to the shareholders too, because there is opportunity with clean energy to turn a profit and to stay viable as a company. And I think we're going to see some big changes this December at the PRC.
Oh, that's right too. And when it comes up, you know, Rob, the last rate increase was 9% back in 2011, I believe it was. How many times can utility keep going to the regulatory committee and saying, look, Sophie mentions, we have these costs that we need to maintain. When does the PRC say, wait a minute, you need to figure out your costs? We have a new normal here. You can't keep expecting to pay for what you have going if less people are using your energy. Is that a fair argument for these guys?
I think so, but there's also, I mean, if you're going to spend more money on renewables, well, that's going to cost more too, because renewables do cost more.
Okay.
Because you're, for example, for wind energy, when the wind's not blowing, that's always been the problem with, well, one of the problems. The other one is avian mortality. But well, when the wind doesn't blow, what do you do with wind energy? And the other thing that struck me when I read this story was it reminds me a lot of what's going on nationally with the highway system. We had regulations to make our cars more fuel efficient, and so the amount of taxes you're getting from filling up your tank nationally have gone down. So now the roads are crumbling. So how do you try to figure that out? It's sort of a similar type of thing going on.
Same new normal kind of a configuration, or okay.
Right, and then we were just talking about in the previous segment about people leaving New Mexico, and part of the reason why was because of money. Well, if you're going to increase costs for utilities, which is something that everyone has to do, then there's going to be a price to pay there.
Sure. Rachel, what's the upshot for business here? I mean, clearly, there's been a decrease in demand from the business side as well for PNM. That's an interesting little anecdote.
Well, there's been some interesting discussion about this. Actually, there was some discussion of possibly lowering electric rates for economic development purposes for businesses around Tesla. And that's a discussion that's taken place in other states as well. So I think that conversation is going to be ongoing.
If I
Please.
may, I drive past Sacred Power every day getting to work on 12th Street. And, we talk about the cost to business, but we do also see businesses like Walmart, other businesses really investing in alternative energies because they see that they can have more kind of control over their costs, more self-determination. That's an opportunity for New Mexico's solar companies and other companies to provide that technology and then also to use that technology. So we have a tendency to say, like, we'll assume that everyone's on the grid, but not everybody really is.
That's right.
And so when we see that decline in use of energy from coal and other sources, we can also view that as a positive thing.
Interesting.
For our businesses.
The public, in their willingness to swallow another rate increase, that's a kind of a bottom line here in this discussion. People grumble, people moan, certainly the last time, the time before that, the time before that. Again, similar to what I asked Rob earlier, is there a place, Javier Benavides, where people just say enough is enough on my electric bill and I just can't, compared to other states, this is ridiculous at this point?
Yeah, and they probably will also start asking what's being spent with that increase. I mean, and I think that we'll see a lot more attention on the hearing this winter. And I think the public is with us, and PNM is also, their messaging is all around renewable energy, and they talk the talk. But then I have to wonder what the connections are to the coal industry and why it's so entrenched and why they're not willing to let go of that, or even nuclear. I mean, the public is wary of that too, given what's going on at WIP and Fukushima. So I think it'll be a good thing for people to be involved in the conversation, and that will probably spur them to do so.
Exactly right. PRC is not the most fun thing to cover for reporters, certainly.
Sometimes it is, actually.
Right. That's an excellent point, actually.
Something dramatic going on there, yes.
Any predictions for what Javier's talking about? Do we have any early indicators of where the PRC is at on this?
I'm not sure about this, but I would say that the EPA regulations are there, but preceding this, even before the Obama administration EPA regulations came down, the PNM was working on shutting down part of the coal industry, and they were working with EPA, they were working with state leaders as well. And so when the EPA regulations came down, it was not something that was just came out of the blue and that New Mexico was caught flat-footed on.
Right. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be very interesting. I agree with Javier. This December, it might be like, for the first time in a long time, the public's going to be very interested in what's going on in that hearing. Now, coming up, after doing films on meth addiction and absent fathers, a documentary filmmaker tackles his biggest challenge yet.